Like always, today's episode is brought to you by our amazing sponsors, gluten-free diet water, premium junk clothing, Williamson wines, and Good Dudes Coffee. Gluten-free diet water. Stay hydrated with a refreshing twist, perfect for those health-conscious listeners. Premium junk clothing, for those who love to express their unique style with high-quality fashion pieces. Visit premiumjunkclothing.com and use code EverydayGSD15 at checkout. Williamson Wine, natural artesian wine from Napa and Sonoma. And last but not least, Good Dudes Coffee, veteran-owned by former Navy SEAL Josh Bridges, and where every cup is brewed with passion and dedication to quality. Visit their website at gooddudescoffee.com and use discount code EverydayGSD10 for an exclusive offer. Thanks to our sponsors for supporting the show, and now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to the Everyday GSD podcast. Green Beret cruising around somewhere secretly in the ocean episode. Today's special guest, former Green Beret, JP Cervantes.
You got that right.
I did?
Yes.
Shit, man, I've been practicing that one. Hey, listen, your bio it's fucking ridiculous. So if I say everything that I have here, the show will be already over. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to do a light intro for you, and then we're just going to dive right into it. Sound cool?
That sounds great.
Okay, so you retired. You're a CW3. You served how many years?
17 years.
17 years, 4 combat tours, Iraq, Afghanistan.
Correct.
One of those was with one of I like to say, back in like the, what is it, right?
Oh, yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's a while ago. Yep, okay. You're also the CEO, and I'm going to just have you pronounce this because my French is weak today. So you're a CEO of Nous.
Oh, Nous Defions Group.
Nous Defions. One more time?
Defions.
Okay, Defions.
Or if you're from France, it's Nous Defions.
Okay, perfect. And you, like I said, you have 30 years of leadership experience. You also were K&R.
Correct.
Kidnapping and kidnapping
for ransom.
For ransom. That led you into anti-human trafficking. You also are very, what's the word I want to use? You're very involved in nonprofits, but one that touches home for all of us that you put a lot of passion into is Let's Walk It Out.
That's correct.
And we're going to talk about that, and that's a 222-mile.
222 miles.
222 miles.
Yes,
yeah, okay. Let's get it right, Darin. Get it right.
222-mile Ruck march.
Okay.
Yes.
We're going to just put this down, and we're going to jump into it. So you grew up in Puerto Rico? You were born in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, man. Beautiful island of Puerto Rico. Have you been there?
Yeah. I was telling a story last night with one of the former Green Berets that was on the boat that when I was on Team 401, we spent a lot of time down in the Caribbean doing operations, and Puerto Rico was one of our little safe spots, for lack of a better word. We'd pull into Rosy Roads, and then we would have fun on the island.
That's awesome, man.
And back then, that's when Vieques was still a Navy base.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Vieques is poor now since the base left, man.
Yeah, unfortunately. They have a lot of horses, though.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they ain't got nothing else to do. It's like all the businesses went out of business. I mean, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just politics, you know?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for being on the show. I know you're busy out here. Obviously, we're on the ship with 2,000 other former special operators of sorts and just having a great time. But to come on and just be able to share your story excites me, and I know my audience is going to love it. And you're stuck with me. We're going to be friends for fucking ever because we've had a good time the last couple of days, maxing out my drink cards, I think, but that's all right. Okay, so you're growing up in Puerto Rico. How long were you in Puerto Rico for?
I was there until I joined the Army. I was 19 years old when I joined the Army. So since I was a little kid, I was always loved the military, right? So I was in a military academy for like, I want to say it was on first and second grade.
Okay.
Then after that, my mother took me out of there because apparently I got in trouble.
Apparently.
I'm going to blame my brother.
And by the way, your son's here watching this, JP Jr., we'll call him.
Yes. He's the second.
He's the second, JP the second. Yeah. So, And it's been a pleasure hanging out with you too. So, so we'll have to be careful what we say on the show. Just kidding.
No, but
your dad was fucking up when he was a kid. So was I.
No, but so later on when I turned 11, I found the Civil Air Patrol, and I joined Civil Air Patrol, and
Civil Air Patrol.
Yeah. That's you know what that is? Yeah. So I joined them, and I like being a leadership style. I like structure and all that, and I was into it, brother. I was like, that was my life, right? So I made it all the way until the rank of cadet lieutenant colonel. When I was there, I was like the squadron commander. I mean, you name it, I did all that. But then when I went to college, I was like, I got to follow this.
And you went to college in Puerto Rico or off the island?
No, in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So when I went to college, and I was still in the in Civil Patrol, but then I joined the ROTC as well.
Okay.
So I did my first 2 years of college, and I was like, you know what? I was in the Air Force ROTC at that time.
Okay.
And they come over.
That's okay, guys. Yeah. Don't laugh out there.
Yeah, don't laugh at me.
Yeah, don't laugh at him. Fucking Green Beret I'm talking to, guys.
Yeah. No, but so I was there, and I wanted to be if you're going to be in the Air Force, you want to be a pilot, right? I want to be a fighter jet pilot.
Or a pararescue.
Yeah. So I that's what I wanted to do. And then they brought this instructor from I don't know where he came from to give us a little speech and gave us like a pre-test. And they said, okay, all the guys that passed this little pre-test, let me talk to you about the flight program. So they started talking to us, and then I found...
And his voice changed like yours just did because he was excited about, let me tell you about that.
Yeah. He's like, let me tell you about flying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay. And then he started talking about like 20 people get in the class. Out of the 20 people, 5 pass. Out of the 5 that pass, only 1 gets to fly because there's more pilots that airplane in the Air Force right now. So you might graduate, but you'll be a desk guy for your entire career. I'm like, no. I'm not going to go through all that to sit on a desk. So I literally walked to the other side of the building, which the Army ROTC was. And I was like, I need to switch. And they go like, oh, yeah, we're going to switch to this and that.
Oh, they're excited.
Oh, yeah. We're going to switch.
They didn't do any work. Yeah, you just walked in.
Yeah. They're like, you want to go Ranger, this and that. I'm like, yeah, that's the stuff. And as they're doing the paperwork to change me for my 3rd year college, I was like, you know what? Let me just go in. And I went down to the recruiting station in Puerto Rico, and I was like, hey, check it out. Where do I sign? They're like, well, let me give you a pitch. You don't have to pitch me, bro.
I'm in. Yeah.
Give me the damn test. I had to take a little pre-test, especially for English because,
because English is your primary language. No, what did you say in the story upstairs when you were giving the presentation?
Oh, yeah. I'm fluent in Spanish, and I got a working knowledge of English.
Yeah, because everyone always like, I'm fluent in English, and I have a working knowledge of Russian or working knowledge. Yeah, that's what you have a working knowledge of English.
Of course.
Yeah. The subtitles on this show is going to be fucking amazing. I can guarantee it.
Oh, yeah. You know what? It's
Nugget. Noggin.
So a lot of people get paid for language, right? I was getting paid for Spanish.
Yeah.
And I was getting paid for Brazilian Portuguese.
Yeah, Portuguese. Obrigado.
I should have been paid for English because that was the hardest one for me. No, but I went to the recruiting station, talked to the guys. Of course, I went to MEPS. They tried to bullshit me.
Of course.
We don't have airborne school available.
Yeah.
But don't worry, when you go to basic training, they'll ask for volunteers. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to work.
And that's a lesson for any listeners that are younger that want to go in the military. Do your fucking homework, and just there's a lot of good recruiters out there. I need to interrupt you on that one. There's a lot of good recruiters out there, but there's a lot of them that are just filling fucking billets. Yeah. And what they're doing is you're going to go in there, you want to be a Navy SEAL. They're like, well, you know what? You go in and be a radar man. Go be an OS I want to be a Green Beret. And they're like, what you're going to do is you're going to go infantry. And then don't worry, it'll all work out later. Yeah, no, that's all bullshit.
Yeah, they wanted me to be a tanker.
There you go.
Because they were
They
short.
needed tankers. Yeah.
And I told them, no, I want to be an 11 Bravo. I want to be infantryman. Yeah. And they tried to trick me and put 11 X-ray in the contract. I'm like, no. I want to be an 11 Bravo. I want to hump. And they're like, oh, no, well, the way we do it is you do X-ray, and then when you go to basic training, you get assigned your MOS. I'm like, no, bro. If you don't put it in the contract, I'm not signing it. Yeah. And so, of course, then they went, and I went, by the way.
But you were a little different because you knew what you yes. And you were already understood the game, yes. for lack of a better word, yes. And you're going into it going, hey, you guys didn't recruit me. I came here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course
you guys are fucking giving a spiel. I already know what I want to do.
Correct.
Do your job.
And I told them, it's like, listen, I want airborne. And of course they go like, well, the system shows that there's no class left. So this is not a joke. I stood up, I look at the MEPS guy, and I go like, all right, well, when you get an airborne slot, give me a call. You got my info. And I started walking away. Yeah. And when I got to the door, I'm not.
There's one open. One just opened.
Bro, he went like this in the computer. You know the old Commodore Tandy 64. You know, he's like clack, 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 and he's like, oh my God, I just got notification that there's a class open in 2 months. I'm like, yeah, sure, bro.
Perfect.
And then he got mad at me because I was actually reading my contract.
Yeah. He
goes like, sign it. I'm like, no. Everything that I ask, I want to see it in writing.
Yeah, for sure.
And, he was so upset with me, man. Yeah. but you know what? I know what I wanted. Yeah. You know, I wanted to join the Army. I know exactly what I wanted. So don't bully. And you know, if you're a recruiter out there and you see somebody like me walking in, they know what they want. Hey, that's an easy recruitment. Why are you fighting him?
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
just give him what he wants, and if he can't make it when he gets in, then they'll put him somewhere else.
Yeah, they'll put him somewhere else. That's it. It's awesome, man.
So you end up going into, so even though you did ROTC and all that, you still have to go to boot camp.
Oh, of course, yes.
Of course,
yes.
Right. So you go to boot camp, you then go into infantry.
Correct. So I went to basic training in Fort Benning, and I honestly don't know how to do it now, but back in the day, you know, Fort Benning, it was only infantry basic training.
Okay.
So you go and you do your basic training, then you get a 48-hour pass, and you start your AIT for infantrymen in the same barracks, with the same people, with the same drill sergeants. So you're stuck with them during the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So hopefully you're getting along with them.
Yeah. No, but honestly, it was great because then you have these drill sergeants that put you through basic training and they give you a hard time. And then when you
They give you what?
A hard time.
Okay.
That's, make sure the subtitles are there.
Hard time.
So they give you a hard time.
You named your son JP, so it'd be easy for you, right?
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. But they give you a hard time, right? But now when you're doing your infantry training, they're actually trying to mentor you more because they want you to be a good infantryman because they were infantrymen themselves. And at some point, they're going to go back to the line company and you might be one of their soldiers. So they want to make sure that you're good to go. Yeah.
So you're enlisted.
Yeah.
And then how long were you in before you went to Ranger School?
I never went to Ranger School.
Oh, airborne.
Airborne and right after AIT.
Okay.
I finished infantry training and right there in Fort Benning, they just put me in a bus down the road, airborne school. And I finished airborne.
That's a bus, not a box.
Damn it.
If his wife was here, she's got the book, right?
Oh, yeah, my girlfriend? Oh,
I'm sorry, your girlfriend.
Oh, she'll be all over me. She'll be like, oh, my God, I can't believe you just said that. Yeah. Anyway, they put me on the bus, and then I went to airborne school, and then from there, I went straight to the 82nd.
Okay. Yeah. So how long were you in the 82nd before you went to selection?
I was in the 82nd from 95. By the way, I got to the 82nd. I don't know if you ever heard of the Towel Stadium Sniper. Okay. In Fort Bragg.
Yeah, Fort Bragg.
That was my first week in the 82nd. We were getting shot at by a sniper.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
That's like mid-90s, right?
That was 95.
95.
That was 95, yeah. But I was in the 82nd for
You're like, wait a minute. How's this happening here?
Yeah. Oh, no. So we're doing a run. Yeah. We're doing a run, and the NCO in charge, he just got there too, right? But he was in the Q course before, and he punched an instructor. So he kind of got kicked out, right?
Yeah.
So back to the infantry. And so he's leading the run, and we hear all these shots going, and we're like, what the hell is that? And I remember asking him, like, hey, Sergeant, if there is a range around here? And the funny thing is he was Puerto Rican. He's like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because he's new there too.
Yeah. And he goes like, and then he tells me, I don't think there's a range this close. And then we see people running.
Yeah.
And you see a tracer round go. And I'm like, oh yeah. And he goes like, well, guys, Zonk, go to your barracks. Bye. And we're like, what the hell is going on here? What did I get into?
Yeah.
Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
But I was there from 95 until 98. 98, I PCS to Panama.
Okay.
So I spent a year in the infantry in Panama. And while I was in Panama, I went to selection, Special Forces selection. Yes.
Yeah.
And then once I finished my tour in Panama, I went straight from there to the Q course in '99. Yeah.
And how was the Q course for you?
I loved it. It was fun, man. I don't know. A lot of people think I'm sick. Like, I love SEER School.
I've heard that a couple times from people out here about you.
That I'm sick, right?
Yeah.
People go like,
he's a fucking legend, but he's sick.
No, it's funny because people tell me, funny because people tell me, how do you enjoy that? And I'm like, I don't know. Well, I knew what I was getting into. Maybe that's what it is.
And we're going to keep going on that, but I do want to say, because you did, because I asked you if you did 20 years, you said you did 17, so you were medically discharged. But and you don't have to tell the whole story of how it happened, but you can just say a quick summarize. I mean, we have all day. You can take all the time you want, but the injuries that occurred in your Humvee.
Oh, yeah. So we were doing a PMT pre-mission training. We were about to deploy to Iraq as a company. I was in C-37, the SIF company.
Yeah.
And we're doing training, and I was in the back of one of the Humvees, and long story short, bad turn was made, hit a culvert, and the Humvee started flipping.
Right.
So when it did, I was ejected from the Humvee. I hit the roll bar with my helmet, went unconscious. I'm thankful for that because I don't remember anything. Right?
Yeah.
So I went unconscious, landed face down, and then the Humvee rolled over me.
Yeah, so the Humvee crushed you.
Crushed me. Like my face, I got the video. I can show you. My face was imprinted on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when they rolled me over, I was bleeding out. Like that was the first time one of our 18 Deltas used Quick Clot.
No shit.
Yeah, that's 200005. Yeah. So they had to they said every time I tried to talk, it just.
So this is after you've already deployed 4 times to Iraq and Afghanistan.
I already have multiple deployments.
Yeah, multiple combat tours in a fucking extremely high level war zone.
And I almost died of Fort Bragg.
Yeah, and the not funny but ironic story is that when you're originally first in, you're getting shot at.
A Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see what I'm doing there?
There's something about Fort
See what I did there?
Yeah. There's something about Fort Bragg.
Fucking everyday GSD just pulled it together.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, but so.
Yeah. So now
So the injuries, right? Yeah. I ended up getting. I had to be air
medevac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
9 line.
Yeah. Well, they took me first to Womack, which is the hospital on base. And as soon as I got there, apparently the doctors looked at me and they said, "There's nothing we can do for him here. He needs to be airlifted to UNC Chapel Hill because he needs neurosurgeons. Like his head is messed up."
Yeah.
So then, long story short, I had T4, 5, and 6 cervical 6 and 7 fractures. Carotid artery was lacerated, and then ended up having biception or whatever they call it. It's like it's split in two.
Your girlfriend would know.
Yeah, she will know. My girlfriend is a nurse. Yeah. She knows. She'll be like, "I can't believe you said that word too." Yeah. But anyway, and then I broke 13 bones in my face. I got 8 titanium plates. And that's one of the jokes. I got a plaque at home that my team gave me. And half is my face, the other half is a Terminator face. and
he just laughs.
And they always call me the $1 Million Man because technically from the accident to all the surgeries I had to get done, it was around $1.6 million. Yeah.
So, and you look good now.
Hey, bro, look at this. Look at this, baby.
That's what we do, right?
No, but so I had that accident, which put me at, that was November 10th, 2005. I don't remember this because I was drugged up. I tried to walk out of the hospital, and I couldn't even see. My face was swollen. I just got out of surgery.
Right.
And they're like, "How is he walking?" And they asked me where I was going, and I wrote in the paper, "Going home." What the hell?
Yeah.
And they're like, and so, long story short, that was in November. In June, I was deploying again.
No shit.
I just rolled through physical therapy. I refuse to stay down.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, guys, I'm going to tell you this. If you ever got injuries like the ones I had, don't rush it like I did.
I thought he was going to say something totally different. Like,
No.
Tie your shoes and fucking run. Just get out there. You're like, no.
Honestly, follow your physical therapist's instructions to the T. You need to recover. So what happened to me is, yes, I went right back to work. I took a specialized team, and so I didn't have to carry all my gear and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like in civilian clothes, growing Fu Manchu mustaches and stuff like that. Just walking around. But But then eventually I came back to the Soul Force. And when I did, I was doing great for like 6 months. And then after that, my body went, you are a moron.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you're not doing this.
Yeah.
And at that point I knew. I'm like, yeah, that's time for me. So 2000, that was 2005, the accident. 2009, that's when my body decided, you didn't let me heal. So it's time to heal.
So after the accident, do you deploy it again to Iraq or Afghanistan?
After the accident, no.
No, okay.
No.
So you did. So you were early in the war.
Oh yeah.
Like when the shit was like.
Oh yeah. Like when there was no rules, like you didn't have to send a 150-page con op just to go in an operation.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you just call it in.
Yeah, and you know I love the conversation I've been having on the ship that we're on, and I was sitting at the bar last night with another fucking hard charger, and you know he had told me how many deployments he did, and I don't want to even say it because anyone listening is going to be like, that guy's, it's not real, but it was like 20 fucking deployments or some shit, right?
I know some people that got that amount, yeah.
Yeah, and you know who I'm talking about. He's the good dancer last night.
Oh my God, yes.
You know, and then someone made a comment, and of course this is with respect, you know, that his operational time, he has more kills than cancer. Meaning, like, this is the amount of combat time that some of you guys have is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's when we start to look at the not the physical problems that has emotional, the mental. And again, one of your nonprofits that you're passionate about is about veteran suicide.
Yes,
and
it is.
We're going to jump into that in a little while, but I wanted to kind of circle back to that because, you know, whenever I'm talking to civilians and I say, oh, my friend, you know, I met this guy and, you know, he did this, and they're like, that's so cool, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and it is, but they have to realize, and you can really, it really hits home here on this ship. First of all, because we can't go anywhere, right? So you have to sit at the bar and be friends with Darin, or you just got to go to the other bar. But then I'm going to go to the other bar. But so the stories that are being told, and it's interesting. Everyone's so modest, and no one's one-upping the story.
Yeah, no,
there's no one-uppers.
Yeah.
It's more like you're not telling a story, but over here, Dave is telling a story about you.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh yeah, you know that happened. But you know what? You should know that this guy. And then you're telling a story about this guy. And I haven't met anyone, just double checking, trying to go from my memory. I haven't met one person on the ship since we've been underway that was sitting down with me telling me a story about him.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah.
And that's a fucking huge thing to say when you start talking about special forces. And, you know, I love all the special forces operations. And, you know, you and I talked about what I did. The difference with the Green Berets, in my opinion, and Jeremy Miller is a friend of mine who got me kind of connected with all you guys. He's a great fucking guy. He was on the podcast. And he would always say, like, we're not here to tell stories. We're the silent operator. We're literally the quiet professional. The quiet professional. Yeah, you know, there's a couple books out there, and there's, you know, but not like, and again, I'm not saying anything against the Navy SEALs, but you're not making a million movies.
No, well,
Rambo.
I mean, think about it. The Navy SEALs already got World War III books written already. Like, they're ready.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I know it's a joke.
I mess with a lot of my Navy SEAL friends. Like, they're like, oh yeah, I'm deploying next year. I'm like, oh, so you wrote that book?
Yeah, one of my buddies, Stu, a former Navy SEAL, and I won't say his last name, but he listens to the show. He says, you know how you stop a Navy SEAL in the jungle?
How?
Put a mirror on a tree.
Gotta check the hair, bro. Hey, but I don't.
It's a joke.
But I don't blame them because when I was in Iraq, and my team can tell you, I told them the day I run out of jail, operations are over.
Yeah.
And like I always put gel because I couldn't get my hair was crazy, right? So I got to put gel and then put the helmet, and I waited until the last minute, like that we exited the vehicle for the op to put the helmet on because I didn't want my hair to get messed up. I always told them I will not be on TV dead with bad hair. It's not gonna happen. If they say Green Beret died in Afghanistan, at least everybody will be like, oh shit, look at him.
He's a good looking man.
Yeah, man, great hair.
Great.
Forget that he got 70 bullet wounds on him. Great hair.
Yeah. Okay, so let's back it up.
Yeah, let's back it up. What we were talking about.
Shit, man, I that's what happens. I get distracted. We get a couple of these prosecco's
So you were
in me.
talking about the stories, right?
Yeah,
and it's funny because my son has been walking around. I mean, he's been at Charlie Mike's before, right?
Yeah.
In Fayetteville, right?
Yeah.
The Green Beret Bar, Charlie Mike's. He's been there.
Shout out.
And a lot of times he comes over and he goes like, "Oh, Papi, you didn't tell me this." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I have never told a story to anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone at all. And he goes like, "Well, so-and-so just told me you did this, and that."
Yeah, because he was with you.
And I go like, "Damn it, bro. Like, I don't talk about it, right?"
Yeah.
It's like, but more people tell stories about me
Yeah.
than I tell stories about myself. Just like I've been telling him stories about, "Hey, you see that guy? Yeah. Oh, he's a badass. Let me tell you about him."
Yeah,
Right? It's like so.
Yeah, but that's how it was last night too. It was almost like a round circle. Like everyone I was talking to was like pointing to the other guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you should talk to him.
Hey, and let me back real quick.
Yeah, take your time. We got all day.
Yeah,
you can't go anywhere.
I can't go anywhere, except for the bar down the road.
Yeah,
but we got a bar right here, so we don't have to go anywhere. So you were saying something about this guy with 20 deployments, right?
Yeah, and there's not just one guy. There's multiple.
So I was actually traveling for business, right, for my company, and I stopped in an Atlanta airport, and there was this young soldier there, and there was this old man from Vietnam, and I actually watched this young soldier try to one-up this Vietnam vet.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding. I corrected that real quick, right? So he's over there trying to tell him, well, how many deployments you got to Vietnam? And the old man,
it's just one.
Yeah, and on the deployment goes like, no, I went there once. I was there for 4 months, this and that. And he's like, well, I got 7 deployments, blah, 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 blah. So I went over there, and nothing against, anybody that does support admin or anything like that. But I asked him, hey, what's going on? You in the Army? Okay, great. I'll buy you a beer. So, I had to lure him in first.
Yeah. You're baiting him.
Yeah, thanks for your service. Here's your free beer.
Yeah, here's your free hot dog.
Yeah, now let me ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
So I go like, so what do you do in the Army? He said, well, what is it? Signal intelligence. I was like, oh, okay. Oh. And you've been deployed
nice.
How many times? And he said, 7 times to combat this and that. And I'm like, okay. How many times you left the base? Like you were out there in an actual engagement.
Yeah.
Like you were shot at. And he said, well, that's not my job.
Yeah.
And I go like, which I understand. And it's great that that's your job because we need that.
Yeah.
But this is the difference between you
and him
and that man. You deploy 7 times, never have to fire your rifle once. Him, in one night in Nam, probably went through hell compared to what you've been through.
Yeah, ran out of bullets.
Yes.
Ran out of bullets.
And it's like, you don't understand the respect we need to have for these people. Like last night at the bar, the man in a wheelchair, right?
Yeah.
What did he tell us? It's like, oh, you guys, my son was there, and I was crying.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you guys are the best of us. And I'm like, no, sir, you don't understand. We are weaker now than when you were in.
Yeah.
You guys are the real badass. And we wouldn't be here without you guys. You guys set the stage for what we are today.
It's so humbling and true, what you're saying, and to be on this ship, and I threw out a large number of obviously special forces people that are on the ship, but it's from multiple generations.
Yes,
I was talking to this guy. His name's Pete. I'll just say that, and it's not Pete that was already on the show. It's just name's Pete. He did 2 tours in Vietnam. First tour was the first year in Vietnam. And his second tour was on the wind down. It was about 18 months, not 18 months there, 18 months before the Vietnam War finished-ish, we'll call it. And I asked him, I go, what was the difference between the two wars, the 2 deployments for you? And he said, well, one, almost everyone he knew died. Yeah. Yeah, right? And then the second one, just a few of his friends died.
Yeah, so the second
only a few people.
Only a few.
Only a few.
Only a few.
Only a few.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this old man last night was even crying because he was thanking us. And I know we're thanking you.
Yeah.
So I had to give him a hug and tell him, hey, by the way, welcome home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, back to the podcast.
Yeah, right?
yeah. Okay. We'll sit here and start crying. It's already happened.
Yeah.
So where were we with you, right? Because that's what the show's about. It's not about me.
Okay, so
this is what happens, JP.
Hey, I got TBI, so I forget.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm a little banged up.
So let me tell you, because I know you wanted to talk about this. First, let me tell you the story, because I know you wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm still learning English, right? I've been in the States since '95, and here I am, still messing up all the words.
Yeah.
And by the way, I want to say this. I've been saying a lot of words wrong, using them incorrectly, or pronouncing them incorrectly.
Yeah.
My whole life.
Yeah.
And if you're one of my friends or coworkers, and you haven't corrected me, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Because I keep using them, and they understand what I'm trying to say, so they don't correct me.
Yeah.
But
then someone who doesn't know you is laughing at you.
And then I met my girlfriend, right, 4 years ago. She got a running list of all the words that I say wrong.
Yeah.
And to her, it's funny. And I'm like, my friends are assholes.
Yeah.
Like
I like the dog story.
Okay, I'll tell you that one since you're in it.
Yeah.
You're talking about it.
Yeah.
So I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking.
What were you making? Do you remember? Something good.
I think it was. So honestly, I think it was a sandwich, and I'm just grabbing the knife to spread my mayonnaise.
Okay.
And I did that, and the knife fell and almost hit my dog in the head.
Yeah.
So as soon as it hit the ground, I look at my girlfriend. I go like, "Oh baby, yeah, man, Coco almost got hit in the nugget."
In the nugget.
And she goes like, "What?" I go like, "He almost got hit in the nugget." And she goes like, "Hold on." She calls her sister. I was like, "You need to listen to this shit." And I go like, "What?" And I'm looking at her like, "Why am I saying wrong?"
Yeah.
She's
I've been
like,
using this word my whole life.
My whole life. Yeah. I use it all the time. And she goes like, "Oh Lord." And she's like, "I hope you haven't said this in public." I'm like, "Yes, all the time. Oh, I hit my nugget."
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, but that's one of the words. But one of the funny stories that you were laughing your ass off about it up there was when I first got to group. And when I say group, is Special Forces ODA for the ones that don't know. I was a brand new E5, right? And we're going into this Bolivia J set. And so
I'm already laughing because I know the story.
Yeah.
It's great.
so a lot of people don't know that before you go on a JSET, you got to do a country study. You got to do a back brief to your commander and all that to make sure you know everything about that country, culture, economy, security, and all that stuff, right? So I did my part. I was the weapons sergeant, so my part was security. So I did my little brief. I practiced it, rehearsed it plenty of times.
Dialed in.
Oh, bro.
Dialed in.
But then the battalion commander shows up.
Yeah.
Colonel Waddell. He shows up, and he's going to receive the brief. So I'm like, man, I got to do this right. This is my first brief to the battalion commander. I better be stellar. So, so now I'm sitting over there watching everybody brief because I'm trying to learn from them, right?
Yeah.
They've been in
See if there's a good word you can use.
Yeah, they've done this plenty of times. This is my first time. So I hear the captain. He keeps using this cool word, right? And he goes like, "Yes, sir." And to caveat that, I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow,
caveat. God, I like it. Yeah.
That's a cool word.
Haven't used that one yet.
I haven't used that one yet. Let me prepare myself. I hope I can find an opportunity to use it. Now, I had no idea how to use it at all. Like,
you're throwing it in a sentence now.
How do I inject it in there? I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it in a sentence.
Yeah.
So I'm standing over there, and then I started giving my brief. I'm like blah 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 blah, and then the captain started saying something to the colonel, and he said, "Oh yeah. And by the way, the weapons and this and that." And the colonel was like, "Oh, okay, perfect." And I go like, "Oh shit.
This is my time.
This is my time.
Got my window.
I got my window." I'm like, "Well, sir," and to caviar dad.
Caviar.
He went like, "Oh shit." He started laughing, but he go like, I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Oh no, continue." He let me go, right?
Yeah.
And I used caviar like 3 more times, and he just let me roll with it. And we got done with the brief, and I remember the team sergeant, the captain, team sergeant Bernie Jackson, the Captain Cheslow, and freaking the Colonel JW woke up to me. He goes like, say that word again. I'm like, which one? I'm like, caviar? I'm like, caviar? He goes like, are you hungry? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, and the captain goes like, sir, don't worry, I'll teach him. Then when I found out what I did, I like, my whole team was rolling. They're like, oh, this guy is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I love it. So how long were you in the Green Beret organization until when you started doing kidnapping ransom?
Oh, so I joined the CIF, right? The counterterrorism company, which is also a hostage rescue company.
Right.
That was in 2005, so that was 5 years.
Yeah.
When I went there.
And you took those skills as in the military and brought them into the civilian world.
Yeah, because first, I tell people all the time, the military, especially like if you're in special operations, right? Think about the amount of money that the government has spent on you.
Training you.
Millions and millions of dollars that other people to get the same training had to pay for.
Yeah.
You got
Which is basically impossible.
Yeah. And you got it for free. Not only for free, you got paid just to take the course. Yeah. And like, so when people get out of the army, they're like, I don't know what to do. And like, you have the skills. Now, how you want to apply them in the civilian world is different, but the skills are there.
Their skills are there.
So
because I talk about that in my book, Back to Bulletproof. I talk about, and we can even break it down to like a support job, a cook, right? Someone who's, constantly feeding hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. So that cook decides in the civilian world he wants to be a cook, but he's basically been a chef on a ship or a chef serving tons and tons of people, crazy menus, different options, not good conditions. But now all of a sudden he's going for a job. He's like, yeah, I was a cook in the Army. No, fuck no. You have to talk about your leadership in that position. You have to talk about your years of experience, what the things that made you excel at that job. So then the company who hires you to be a chef knows who the fuck they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just not going to be like, yeah, I can make hot dogs. No, you can.
You're a leader. Like, how
leader.
many people were you in charge of? How many millions of dollars you
what
had
was
to
the
sign
money
for?
How much? What was your budget?
Yeah, what was your budget?
Yeah.
And you had to manage that budget.
Yeah.
It's like I tell people when I was in a specialized team, just for my team, which was an 8-man team.
8-man team.
We had
I can't wait to hear this number.
We had an $1.2 million just training budget.
Training.
We have more budget than the entire company.
Yeah.
And we're like, what are we going to do with this money? I'm like, don't worry, I'll find how to spend it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, but if you think about it, it's like, think about that. Put that in a resume.
Yeah.
It's like the amount of money you manage, the amount of equipment and sensitive items you were in charge of.
Right.
And you have to account for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if you were just an E5 or an E4. All the weapons you're assigned, you're in charge of them.
Yeah.
That's money.
Yeah.
That's money that you have to account for.
Yeah.
Put it in that format in your resume.
Yeah, you're in charge of running a boat. You're in charge of running a helicopter. You're trying a fixed asset, and those cost a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not in a rental car.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for real. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so what? That's what I did. I figured what. But don't get me wrong. When I first got out, it was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard accepting that I was not wearing the uniform anymore. But at the same,
was it hard accepting not wearing the uniform, and also not being with the team?
The team is the biggest part because
Because
right before I retired, I went to the schoolhouse for 2 years. Basically, that was my time to heal and do my medical retirement process, right?
Right.
And
for those people that are listening that don't know what the schoolhouse is.
Oh, the Special Warfare Center
Yeah.
School, Fort Bragg. That's where all Green Berets, SEER School, psychological affairs, civil affairs, all that they train at.
Yeah.
But I was there, and just being on a desk killed my soul.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I knew I had a purpose, right? I'm here, I'm doing a job, got it.
Yeah.
But my soul was slowly dying.
Yeah.
Because I was not in a team.
Yeah.
And I joined to be on a team. And I know I can still serve here, but I'm not happy.
Yeah.
And if I'm not happy and I'm hurting because my body's literally in pain,
Yeah.
I'm not good to anyone.
Yeah.
And like, so I retired, which at first I was kind of sad, but after the first 2 years, when I started feeling better, I realized that was the right decision.
Right.
I needed that break. I needed my body to heal, because otherwise I was going to keep trying to be a hard charger.
Yeah. And that only will affect you long term later.
Yeah, because the army's still going to be there. Yeah. Probably people won't remember your name, but your family will. And if you're not in good health, what good are you to them?
Yeah. I mean, how many stories have we heard since we've been on here talking about this individual who's no longer with us?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, last night, I think there was probably 10 of us crying, and I didn't even know the guy. And he's telling a story about, this is what happened to him, and unfortunately he took his life because of, the trauma and the not being with his brothers.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
People don't realize how hard it is. That's all you know. That's all you know. For people to do, there's people here in this boat that did 40 years of service. And that's all they know their entire life. 40 years.
So is this one of the reasons why you started Let's Walk It Out, or got involved? Or did you start it, or you got involved with it?
No, I started.
You started it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
So
and again, you're well, I can show the cameras. So this is filled. This is like a medical record. That's how thick this is, right? But it's not. It's all of his accolades and all of his things he's been through, and his classes and his skills and the organizations he works with in the civilian world now. But this one is the one that you put your effort into.
Yes. This is the one that takes most of my time.
Yeah.
So I got, right after I retired, of course, lost a lot of friends to suicide.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out, it's like, okay, well, I started talking to people, if they were struggling this and that, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to make it an effort to go over there and talk to people and try to figure them out, right?
Yeah.
And I kept telling them, hey, listen, don't you see there's a challenge going on Instagram right now, 22 push-ups a day. They're doing this for you to know that, you're loved, this and that.
And it's 22 is a huge movement, and it's actually more.
Actually more.
It's more than that.
Yeah,
but
more.
I think we can't change that number because the marketing of 22 it can't be 27. It's not 22 now. It's 27 or 29. But even that number's not correct, and that's a day.
I know, a day.
A day.
So one thing that I found out now, for all the keyboard commandos out there.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. I'll start with that.
I'll tell you what I heard.
My mom's listening. She doesn't like when I say that, but sorry, Mom. Keyboard warriors, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, internet commandos, I call them.
Yeah.
That want to go right away and research. You were wrong by one number.
Yeah.
So what I heard was that the problem with the 22 was that they were only counting veteran suicide of veterans that were registered with the VA. You know how many millions?
Oh my God, I never heard this before.
You know how many millions of veterans are not registered with the VA?
Yeah, a lot.
So they can account for those suicides, right?
Oh, shit.
And by the way, the 22 a day don't include after duty, National Guard. Yeah, it don't include any of that. So you're talking 22 just veterans.
This number's huge.
It's huge. Somebody told me that
because when I said earlier, someone told me 27 or 29. That's not even close.
No. The correct number, actually, somebody told me is double of 22 is like 43 or 41, which is still a lot. I mean, it's huge.
Well, 22 is huge, right?
22 is huge.
Yeah, 1 is huge.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves, right? Yeah. And we all have someone on our team or someone that we know worked with that is no longer here anymore.
Yeah.
There's not one person on this ship that doesn't know someone that took their life.
Yeah, you're correct.
I can keyboard warrior this. I can fucking guarantee. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, no, I hear you, brother.
Yeah.
I hear you. But so when I started telling them about all this that people were doing for them, almost every person always told me they don't understand my pain. And they don't understand my pain. I appreciate what they're doing, but they don't understand my pain. They don't understand my pain. And that word pain really stuck with me, right? So one day I'm sitting at home and I go like, okay, pain. How can I know it's going to sound sick, but how can I inflict pain to myself so that I can show them I'm willing to take the pain with you, right? It's like, you don't have to carry the pain alone. And so I go like, you know what? Let me do a 22-mile rock march. And I go like, 22 miles? That's not really
22 miles, that's no big deal. And by the way, when I started the show, I said 22 miles because I'm like, still, that's a fucking lot of miles. It's just shy of a marathon that no one ever does. There's very few marathon people, but like 200.
So I decided
222.
And 22 miles is going to be painful. And then I carried the rucksack just to let you know I'm willing to carry the burden with you. You don't have to carry it alone.
Yeah.
And each mile is just an obstacle. That's it. Hey, the pain is going to eventually end.
Yeah, don't boil the ocean.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The pain is going to end. For me, with a Motrin, right? A few days of rest on a Motrin, but but I tell people, but emotionally, the pain is going to end. The problem is, it's not going to end when you want it to end.
Right.
It might not be a day. It might not be a week or a year or 10 years, but it's eventually going to end. All you got to do is find that resiliency that you had when you were in the military, and you still have, you just kind of like put it in the back burner.
Yeah.
So that event is about resiliency.
1 mile at a time.
Let me tell you, people are in pain, and not everybody finished. There's only, in 4 years, there's only 8 finishers of the whole thing. I done it 2 years in a row, right? And
you finished both times?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to be clear. I knew that already.
Hey, bro.
But just for the audience, that keyboard warrior is like, well, did he even finish? He didn't mention he finished. Because he doesn't brag about it.
Yeah.
Because I have to ask him and just say, yeah, of course he finished.
Hey, bro, once I take the first step, there's no going back.
Yeah.
So this last year.
But that's a great statement.
Yeah. This last year, I didn't do it because I brought new people because it's a therapy, it's a program. So I brought people that were struggling and go like, you're going to do this, and it's going to change your life.
And I gotta go back to this, and we're gonna go back to changing the life because it's such a good story. 222 miles. You were medically discharged with massive injuries.
And I'm in pain when I'm doing it.
Massive injuries.
Yeah.
Multiple combat tours.
Yeah.
Massive injuries, and you're like, I'm gonna do this because I take the first step, and there's no turning back.
There's no turning back. No. Hey, how can I tell you, I tell people don't cash out. That's the way I call it. Don't cash out, right? Yeah. Stay here. You're loved.
Oh, that's good. Don't cash out.
Yeah, don't cash out.
Say that
right?
again.
Don't cash out. Period. It's like, hey, in the casino, you're over there, don't cash out, brother. Keep rolling it. Keep rolling it.
Yeah, I don't know about that advice.
By the way, my son, don't take that advice because your card is linked to my credit card. So don't take that advice. But I tell people don't cash out, man. It's just keep rolling, right? It's like it's life. There's obstacles, and we're used to that. I gotta apply it differently. So it changes lives, man. I'm telling you, when you go out there and you're suffering, and then you see people that just met, by the way, 3 days down the road, they're best friends. Yeah. And they're telling each other, come on, bro, you got this. Hey, the next break, because it's every 3 miles, which takes average about an hour, because that's another thing. If I bring you in as a core walker to a rock march, and core walkers are people that the organization sponsor to come in for therapy.
Okay.
So if I bring you as a core walker. Core walker, yes. If I bring you as a core walker, we will not leave you behind. Yeah. We got a start time every morning. We don't have a finish time. So if we got to go at your limping pace for the next freaking 18 miles, we're going to go at the pace that you're limping. We don't care. You will not be left behind. The only way we're going to stop is if you say, I can no more. I got to jump in the van and take 3 or 4 miles break. Or maybe I'll jump in again tomorrow. I'm done for today. At that point, then we'll pick up the pace again. But we always take the slowest person pace because we don't leave anybody behind.
Yeah.
Period.
It's
my rule. It's like if you're in the front and you're moving, you're an asshole. Yeah. Get to the back of the line.
Yeah. Yeah. Push the pace from the back of the line.
Yeah. Keep people motivated. Yeah. We play music. I tell you what, I got to really appreciate firefighters and law enforcement.
Hell yeah. Shout out to the first responders out there.
Brother, they keep us safe on that road. And
where does this happen?
So we go from Fayetteville, North Carolina, all the way to Camp Lejeune, and back to Fayetteville. And most of the time we're on the highway.
Yeah.
And these guys not only keep us safe, but every time we tell them, what can we do for you guys, man? For all they're like, no, you're already doing it. You've been out here doing this. You're already doing it. Because we do this for military and first responders.
Yeah, of course.
Well.
Yeah.
So they're like, no, you're already doing it. There's no way I can repay you for what you're doing because definitely I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about approximately how long does it take?
It's 10 days. It's a 10-day program. So the average is 22 miles per day. Our longest days are the first and the last because we go from Fayetteville to Autryville and then, of course, backwards. And that one is about 23.9 miles.
So here's a question, and you may have already explained that, and I just want to make sure I'm clear. So let's just say I'm doing it, right?
Yeah.
And today I can only do 10, hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
Because, I'm in pain, but I'm not quitting, right?
Yeah.
So do you stay with me and tomorrow I start at mile 11? Or do I catch back up with the team?
You catch up to wherever we are. So we got support vans.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Because I guess you did say that we're not leaving anyone behind.
Yeah. So
right. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
Every 3 miles, we got a 10-minute break, and that's the chance for anybody who needs to jump in the van.
Right.
And down the road, if you want to jump back again, that's fine.
And 3 miles is a good number because it's just enough to get you go. Okay, I can do another 3.
And that's what I tell people, is the small victories.
Yeah.
And I keep telling people,
right, I can do another 3.
So
I just finished this 3. I can do another 3. Not that I have 15 more miles to go. I just need to do another 3.
Yeah. And people tell me that I got a weird way of motivating people.
I can imagine.
because right, like the day that is 23.9 miles, right? I normally stay quiet. We do the first 3 miles, and I wait until we go under 20. I'm like, hey, guys, now we're under 20.
Yeah.
And they're like, damn,
yeah,
under 20, like that's nothing, right? And then I go like, hey, we completed 12 miles. Hey, guys, we're halfway there.
So I made a bet years ago and that I would do a mini marathon, 13.1 miles. Nothing obviously compared to a 20-mile ruck. It's in Indianapolis, and so I make this bet, and I said I was out at a bar, and this guy said, hey, let me buy you a shot. And he goes, I can't drink. I'm training for this marathon in May, and it was November. And I go, well, you can have a fucking drink with me. And he goes, no. He goes, I'm training right now. I go, listen, here's the deal. I'll do it. Drink with me tonight, and I'll do it, and I won't train. So the bet was I wouldn't train. So I got brand new sneakers. But I was still doing my regular workouts, but I just wasn't training for running, right? But I'll tell you that the reason I want to share the story is because at mile 7, every mile you see where you're running, right? Well, at mile 7 to mile 8, I missed the number. I didn't see the mile 8, and I was like, from mile 7 to 8, it's fucking much longer mile. Like, I'm dying out here, right? Again, I hadn't trained. I'm just doing my regular workouts. I'm sweating. I drank the night before, right? So I'm sweating like crazy, and I'm coming up to mile 8. And I'm thinking, where's mile 8? Where's mile 8? And all of a sudden, it was mile 9. Because I missed the sign for mile 8.
You missed the sign, yeah.
But guess what happened when I saw mile 9? Hell yeah. I'm almost done. Because I was so getting down on myself, like, this is the longest mile ever. I can't believe, when is 8 coming? I don't know if I mean, I'm not quitting, but man, I'm thinking about it, even though I know I would never quit. But man, looking for mile 8 was miserable. Yeah. But then when I saw mile 9, that's your sick motivation, right? Yeah. I saw mile 9. I'm like, hell yeah. I had a pep back in my step. I'm like, yeah, I'm at mile 9. I only have to go to 10, then 11, then 12. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, I tell most of the people doing the Ruck March, I'm like, listen, what I call the lead core walker. Normally, if I'm doing the Ruck March, I'm the lead core walker, right? But this last year, like we just finished in April, I didn't do it because I need to bring new people in, and I ran support for them, which is great because now it showed me a different side of the Ruck March, which I appreciate all my support people. Yeah. Now, before I used to go like, come on, hurry up, and now I'm like, oh man, they do a lot. Yeah. But no, so I tell them, it's like, listen, let the lead core walker, because we do it on Strava and we post the link so people can follow where we're at. And we got actually people that go and meet us at some points just to shake our hands, right? So I go like, let me run Strava. You guys don't run your map. Because if you keep looking at how many miles you got to go, it's going to get to you. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, because it's a mind fuck.
So, and I tell them, it's like, they're like, oh no, but it's pretty cool. Like, yeah. But when you're in mile 180 and you begin after a break and you go like, oh man, we're almost there at the next break. and you go like this, and you're like, what? We only move 0.8 miles? Oh.
Yeah.
And like, it's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
And like, don't look at the watch. Just keep going.
Look at the guy in front of you.
Yeah, look at the guy. Start
and help the guy behind you.
Yeah, start conversations. We start just messing with each other, going, like, come on, bro. Oh, we did that all the time. Come on, bro. Yeah. You can take a break in the van if you want. Yeah. Like, fuck no, I'm not quitting. I'm like, oh, come on, bro.
I mean, you can.
There's AC in there. You got sandwiches, you know. Because it's a competition to see who quits first, you know. But it's a friendly competition. It's trying to motivate you. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't call it quitting, right?
No, absolutely not at all.
Because there's a lot of people.
It's a process you're doing.
Because there's a lot of people that actually are hurt, right? Yeah. We got a guy one time that came from Puerto Rico. His knee, you could literally move his kneecap from left to right completely. And he took a day break, and the next day, he rocked. The next day, he took a break. But he's like, but I'm not stopping. I'm going to do as many miles as I can.
And approximately how much is the pack?
It's everybody's discretion, right? Yeah. Mine, I always do 35 to 45 pounds.
Yeah.
We had a person this last year that had his personal goal was 55 pounds. Of course, after day 3, he realized I'm stupid and put it back. Because listen, mine is 20. The first year I did it, I was 35 pounds, but I'm also carrying the flag, the Let's Walk It Out flag. And that thing is just blowing left and right. Yeah. And so as I'm carrying the flag, I go like, man, literally it's feeling like I'm carrying 65.
Yeah.
And like, so let me drop down to 25 because this flag is just kicking my butt. And it worked out, right? But let me tell you, that 25, 35-pound rucksack feels like 80 after day 3. I don't care what. You can be carrying just water.
Yeah.
And after day 3, oh, yeah, you're going to feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to feel it.
And then do you help the individuals with the proper shoes and things they should wear? Or you're like...
So I'm going to do a shout-out to Fleet Feet Fayetteville.
See what I did there?
And the
one more time to the shout out.
Fleet Feet Fayetteville. They always donate the shoes for all our co-workers.
And we'll make sure we put a link in the
they normally tell us, hey, give me the size, we'll give you the shoes, and then because a lot of people travel, like we got the first female that came from Puerto Rico this year, the first law enforcement officer female to finish this year.
Nice. So she's one of 8.
She did the whole thing. Yeah, my girlfriend is the other one. She did it last year.
Well, you know she wasn't not going to finish because she wasn't going to go home and pick on your English and know she didn't finish.
Oh, yeah. Every time she said, that's not how you say that, then I'll be like, that's not how you rock.
Yeah.
You know? No, but she comes from a family of no quitters. Like, that word do not.
Yeah.
Her family don't know what that word is.
Yeah.
Like, they're very competitive even with each other. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I love it.
But no, what the hell I was saying? TBI.
No quitting.
Flip. Yeah. So they donate the shoes every year, and it's kind of hard because a lot of guys, they like to break in their shoes, right? But let me tell you, when it comes to Hokas, you don't have to break that thing in. You put that thing in, you're walking in clouds. You're gone. So that's what they normally do. They give us Hokas, and they tell you, hey.
And how do you spell it?
Hokas, Hokas.
Okay. And the reason I asked that to make sure that we give the.
Yeah. So they go like, hey, pick the shoes you want, and then they put them on. They're like, no, it's our contribution to the cause. Thank you for what you're doing.
Well, hopefully the people listening can hear this and know that this is a company that supports your organization to help veteran suicide. So go out and buy their shoes.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. Let me tell you, they support a lot in the Fayetteville area.
Nice.
They're always involved with the community.
I love it.
Yeah, they're amazing. But so we do that, and then of course you got the people that always ask, what kind of backpack or rucksack should I buy? This and that. And I'm like, bro, just bring whatever you want to bring. This is because people go like, what's the uniform? I'm like, I don't have a uniform. The only thing you got to do is wear the Let's Walk It. So the only thing that we changed from the first year was the first year. Let's say that everyday GSD, so we got what is called a leg sponsor. The leg is the day, right? Day 1 is one leg. So let's say everyday GSD is the leg sponsor, which is a $500 donation if anybody wants to do that.
Which we'll do. Everyday GSD.
Snap! Look at that.
Everyday GSD will for sure do a one leg sponsor.
Oh, perfect. Look at that.
And off the camera, we can talk about any other ways we can help.
You're perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah. But so let's say that everyday GSD. So what we did is we tell the leg sponsor, hey, if you want, it's not mandatory. you can send us T-shirts, right? And then during that leg, it's your leg, we'll wear your T-shirt.
Yeah.
Which it worked out great, right? Sponsors were happy, but the problem is it was safety on the road, right? We're on the highway, and whether it's raining, thundering, we still rocking, right?
Right.
So what we decided to do is like, let's do a standard. Each year we change the color, but we're gonna do like a very bright fluorescent color.
Yeah.
And every rocker will have to wear that shirt. And the first year we did it, every law enforcement came over, bro.
Thank you.
I was a mile out and I saw you guys.
Yeah.
It's like, that is perfect.
Yeah.
And so we started doing that. So now what we do is, if the sponsor sends T-shirts, we always do like the beginning video of the day, right? Our social media girl takes a video and we're like, hey, we're beginning. Thank you to Everyday GSD, leg sponsor, tag you. And then while we're making that video, we're wearing your shirt, right? And then we go like, okay, we're about to step out. Everybody take off those shirts, put it in your backpack so you can wear them later, and then put the Let's Walk It Out shirt.
Well, and you know what we'll do is we'll get together after this, and 185 Promotions is a company I deal with. It's a woman's owned business, amazing company.
Oh, really?
She does all my apparel. Maybe we can come up with a Let's Walk It Out shirt in the right color, sponsored by Everyday GSD, but then they can have that shirt knowing they're fluorescent or whatever it is. You know what I mean? We can come up with, there's a lot of ways we can work together.
Okay, perfect.
I'm confident in that.
That's perfect. That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that's what the Rock March is about. Now this year, because, you know, as we go along, we save lives along the route, by the way. People have told you, you changed my life.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you this one, right? We were in this last year now, I was doing support, right? So everybody's coming back, and I'm about to cry, right? Everybody's coming back from Camp Lejeune, and we stop at Richlands, North Carolina. And Richlands Fire Department, thank you so much. So Richlands, and they have a volunteer firefighter there, Pops. Yep, volunteer firefighter. Oh, man, right? The sweetest guy you will ever meet. And he retired as a firefighter somewhere in another state. But his son is a lieutenant at that station. So he moved there just to volunteer at the station. All he does is make coffee for everyone. Right? He when everybody goes out, everybody goes out, he managed the station. It's like, I'm here taking phone calls.
Yeah.
So when we got there, he comes out with a coffee pot, right? And now everybody's sweating, right? They just got done with like 22 miles, right? Everybody's sweating. They're taking their shoes off. And he goes like, you guys want coffee? And we're like, oh, sir, no, really right now. And one of the firefighters was like, you don't understand. He's been waiting all day for you guys so he can make you coffee. And we're like, sir, yeah, we'll drink it all.
Yeah, we'll drink it all.
So as we're talking to him, and this is the part that got me, he's standing over there and he said, you know, thanking us for what we're doing. Thank you so much, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes like, and I'm really glad that people appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
And I go like, what do you mean? He said, well, when I got back from Vietnam,
they spit on me.
And he started crying. He said, nobody wanted me here. Oh, bro. Everybody started crying, of course. We started giving him hugs and all kind. I go like, Pops, yeah, I want you here.
Yeah.
I'm like, welcome home, you know. But I was crying, and then one of the girls walk up to me because it just, you know, things happen for a reason.
Yeah,
because
right.
just earlier that day, I go like, man, I wonder if we're making a difference right now.
Right.
Like sometimes you doubt, am I making a difference? And one of the
Is
girls,
this helping?
One of the girls walk up to me, is like, yeah, you just make one. It's like you just witness why you're doing this.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I go like, I'm not gonna complain the entire Rock March again.
Yeah.
Like, cause if we can touch one life,
that's it.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
And you know, I had a guy on a podcast, Gary, and his statement was, if you help one person, if everyone just helped one person, how good would we be in the world? I help you, you help him, he helps her. If everyone just helped one person, and what you're doing is you're trying to save as many people as you can, obviously. But you're like, if I can just save one person, that's not 22 now.
That's right.
And that's the fucking goal, right?
That's right.
And that's the, you know, you've been through, I mentioned it earlier, multiple combat tours, major injuries. debilitating injuries, retirement because of those injuries. And you could be the person that's part of that 22. But instead, you and other of your brothers said, you know what? No, we need to be ahead of this and help every individual so we can try to save them.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know
That's
what?
fucking great.
Yeah. And one thing that we started this year, I want to make sure I mention this, is as we were going along, one thing that we realized, you know, you're in the military and you died of suicide. Your spouse is going to get the benefits, right? But I didn't realize that for law enforcement or mainly firefighters, depending on the state and the city rules that they have,
suicide, they don't give them,
they don't get anything.
Yeah.
So one thing that we started is the Service and Sacrifice Scholarship. So it's going to be our first year. It's going to be next spring. It's going to be the first time we're going to give those scholarships, right? So it's all going to, how many we're going to give, we don't know, depending on how much money we got in the scholarship fund, right? But we're looking at about
And did you hear that? How much money is going to be in there? So if you're watching and want to donate.
Yeah. So we're
if you're
looking
a corporation and want to donate.
Yes. So we're looking at about $2,000 to $2,500, but this is what we're doing. We're going to do it. A lot of scholarships are for college only.
Right.
So what we want to do is we want to make it for anything that the family needs.
Yeah.
Right. So if you need to pay for your child's tuition, it counts for that.
It's similar to what my charity, Sweep Away Cancer.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And you know, if you, maybe the husband was the only income producer in the house, right?
Right.
And now the wife got to go and find a job. Well, maybe she likes doing nails, and maybe she just don't have the money to pay for the course to go and get certified. Well, guess what? We got you.
Yeah.
We're going to help you because I don't care if it's a child or a spouse, someone needs education.
Yeah.
And if we can help with that, guess what? We're going to do it.
Nice.
Because I didn't realize that until I started doing this rock march that people were like, oh, my buddy so-and-so died of suicide, the family got nothing. We're like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean they got nothing? It's like, oh, yeah, they don't pay for suicide. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, you really think about that's like fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I had this one kid one time, again, another young private with no sense of anything, was talking to me and he's saying, I don't know why law enforcement is always claiming PTSD and suicide. And I look at him and I go like, let me tell you something. It's like, I've been at war. And even not at war, like just other deployments, etc. I've seen horrible stuff.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of death that nobody should ever see in their life.
Yeah.
Right? But guess what? I come home. And he goes like, so? I'm like, these firefighters, EMTs, law enforcement, they're at horrible scenes all the time where either a husband...
Weekly.
Yeah, where either the husband kill an entire family or kids die in a car crash, right? And guess what? They're like, what? It's like, they gotta drive through that spot every single day.
Yeah. They have to drive by that house. They have to drive by that apartment building. They have to drive by that corner where the truck killed the 10-year-old boy on the bicycle.
Every day. They've been reminded of that horrible scene they saw, and they can get away with it because that's where they live.
Yeah.
They gotta go. They gotta go to the store. They gotta go to school. They can get away with it. And that is way harder. To me, at least that's what I think. Yeah. That is way harder than me coming home and not having to deal with that stuff anymore. Except for road rage, because you're too close. BBID, you know. But other than that, like, I don't have to drive through those spots to remind me every time.
Yeah.
You know?
So listen, we've been at this for a little over an hour, and I know there's other things that you need to do today. Your story is remarkable, and I want to make sure that I get all the right names and everything down so we can make sure we put it up properly. And again, I know for sure myself and Everyday GSD want to help support you and your cause, because it's a cause for all of us, right? Yeah. We're all touched by this. Do you have a message as we wrap it up for an Everyday GSD message for the people that are out there, regardless if it's someone that has mental health issues, or someone struggling with PTSD, or someone who wants to join the military and they're not sure what they want to do? Just an Everyday GSD message as a former multiple combat tour, retired Green Beret, not self-proclaimed, I'm pointing the finger, straight up fucking badass who has been through the shit and now is on the other side still trying to help people. Do you have a message for the audience?
Man, I just want to say, find your passion. I don't care what that is, right? Whether you want to join the military, whether you retire and you don't know what to do, find a passion. There's so much you can do, and I think the best way you can find your passion is when you start helping others and not yourself. If you do that, I guarantee you're going to find something that touches your heart, and it's not even going to be work because you're going to love it. Find your passion, help other people, and when you do that, you're going to be the happiest person in the world. I'm telling you.
100%. You will be rewarded.
Yes.
JP, you don't want to hear it, but you're a fucking legend. I appreciate you. Thank you for being on the show. I do have a gift for you. Of course, an everyday GSD shirt, because you truly are the facts of getting shit done. So this is for you. We're going to take a couple pictures after, but thank you, brother. And then I know your son likes to read, so
yes.
I've got him a copy of Back to Bulletproof.
Okay, because he actually knows English.
Yeah, he knows English. So we'll make sure you get this after the show.
Nice.
But again, brother, I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you, brother.
And thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you, man.
Yeah, you're stuck with me now, man.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. You're stuck with me now.
You don't want to know where we're going later. We're going to party.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.